Fucking hell. Oh, this is horrible. Fucking hell, the wind. Sorry. Jesus. Yo, and welcome back to Dan Escapes. I hope you're all doing very well. In today's episode, we're going to be riding the Emonda ALR. Not today, because it's in the evening, but we're going to be riding it tomorrow morning, very early, to do a Rapha's A Day in Hell. So Rapha put on this event, so starting from the London Clubhouse in Piccadilly Way, and then heading up into St Albans and doing some off-road cobbles and dirt up that way, and then ending up in Rapha HQ in Archway, where we will watch, hopefully, if we get there in time, the end of the men's Paris-Roubaix race. So why it's called A Day in Hell is you're supposed to do it on a road bike. So I've chosen my Emonda ALR. I could have easily done it on my checkpoint with wide gravel tires. The idea is to make it as uncomfortable as possible and do it on, you know, a road bike. So I'm running 28C tires. Usually I'd probably want to be running 30-32s, and the ones I've got on here are the P04S. So they've got very good grip in the wet. So hopefully they should handle well. I'm gonna have a saddlebag, riding that with all my kit in there. So because I don't know what the terrain's like and whether these tires are going to hold out on the off-road sections, I've got a couple of spare inner tubes. I've also got some plugs as well, a mini pump, multi-tool as well, tire levers, a canister that works with my pump, some patches for my tube. So, you know, I'm fully prepared just in case anything happens, and that will be on the back of the bike here. I'm also running this little fender mount that Trek makes. So it goes on the blender mount for the saddle. So it means I can hold a light, and also this little mud guard that's kind of like an arse saver. So I stripped the chain at the workshop and I haven't added any lube yet. And I'm gonna try this new one that I picked up from Silka, the super secret chain coating wax. So yeah, I'm gonna try this out for the first time, see how it handles on the weekend, and if I like it, we'll continue to use it. Other changes I made is I've put double-sided cleats on. So if you watched my build video of the Emonda ALR, I was running single-sided SPDs. Because of this ride, I knew it's going to be off-road in some sections, and I wanted to be able to clip in and out really easily. So that's why I've gone with the SPD double-sided one. So this one's actually a pedal from Trek. It's called the Covey Pro. So it's like kind of a plasticky, carbony body. So it's quite a lightweight SPD pedal. So if you watched my last video about the Emonda, I was running silk sealant. I'm still doing that. I've topped it up for this event just to make sure. I haven't had any punctures that I'm aware of, so I haven't seen any sealant spray up the side of the bikes. So I'm hoping, you know, these tires are good for this one. As for pressure, I'm gonna be running close to 60, so around 60, maybe 59 up in the front, and then I'll be running 65 in the back just to add a little bit more comfort. So yeah, we're gonna head to Rapha HQ. Very windy today, and I haven't got a muffler for my microphone on this camera, so apologize for any loud wind noises. But yeah, I'm gonna head up on out. Woo! Been working with OS Maps.
It's 120k with 1200 meters elevation, super simple.
For the Day in Hell route, I didn't look into it too much as I wanted it to be a surprise. All I knew was it was around 77 miles, 123 kilometers, with 3,800 feet or 1,158 meters of climbing, with a number of off-road sections, but I wasn't too sure of how much of it would be. In my head, I thought it would be around 70 road and 30 off-road, but it was more 60-40 with a number of muddy sections. As for the road riding, it was very stop-start at the beginning getting out of London due to all the traffic lights, but once we got further out, it was super nice. The Emonda ALR handled well on the roads, very responsive and fast on the descents. The route took us on some back streets to hit short cobbled sections, which you definitely felt with the rigid frame, and low volume tyres. If we were to do a decent amount of distance on them, I would have suffered. Our first gravel section came at Hampstead Heath, was pretty hard packed and nice to ride on, even on the Emonda. Who's going to attack who?
Attack you, man. Attack everyone.
Come on, Carlos! Oh, bro. It's got a Tabasco.
Oh, it's not that in hell if you don't have this, bro.
We got our first gravel section. Well, second gravel section. As for the off-road sections, it was a bit sketchy in places. If I was on my checkpoint, it would have been nice and easy, but having those skinny tyres and stiff frame, it made the route a lot harder. But for me personally, it made it super fun. When the terrain was rocky and bumpy, you definitely felt it, and having the narrow bars and steeper head angle made the bike feel very twitchy, which probably fatigued my arms a lot as I was fighting to keep the front wheel from going in the wrong direction. I found myself holding back on the fast off-road descents as I didn't want to crack my carbon wheels or cause a puncture. Plus, I was really not feeling a crash. Oh, this is horrible. This is horrible. Oh, you alright? When I got to the muddy sections, the bike became unpredictable. This was mainly due to running slick road tyres. I found the front end would lose grip, but luckily I was able to save it and not fall off. When pedaling up muddy hills, I would expend a lot of energy as the rear tyre would just spin out, and ended up getting off the bike to walk it. This only happened on a couple of occasions when the mud was deep. Most of the time I would roll over the mud patches with ease, but also brace myself just in case I face planted in the dirt. Here we go. Another good mud section. My wheels just keep slipping out. Hello. Hello. Hello.
They are trying to help.
A hiker bike. As for the whole event, I thought the team at Rapha London did a great job. Special shout outs to Florian and Louis. The route was super fun and challenging, and definitely would have been fun even on my gravel bike. It just made it that much more hellish doing the off-road sections on the Emonda with 28mm road tyres. The halfway break was much welcomed with snacks and a refill station, plus had the chance to ride around on a fun pump track. If we weren't in a rush, I would have definitely stayed and rode it longer. So we've done a pit stop. The Rapha London crew did their job, fed us. They had coffee station built up there, fill up your drink with electrolytes. Now I'm on the gravel section, and we've already done 60k, got another 60k to go, and I'm starting to feel it. I'm trying to keep up with everyone, but those guys are machines. Me, plus I'm feeling all the bumps on this bike. Look at this, gravel bar. Not fun on the Emonda. Oh, mud section, sorry. That's horrible. It's all like dry tractor path. The wind. Look at these two beautiful horses. There was a last section of descending, super rough, loads of deep holes, and it felt body jarring. Towards the end I was definitely feeling fatigued, and when I got to the end I was so glad to fill my belly with chips, or French fries for my American viewers. Thanks to Rapha London for putting on a great event, and look forward to next year's, but my middle-aged bones might use a gravel bike next time.
Don't get paid for that. I'm covered in beer.
There you go.
That was so good. It wasn't the last bloody...
The Emonda ALR handled the route very well, came alive on the roads and managed to stay upright and intact on the rough stuff. The only thing holding this bike back is my weak legs, but we all know how to improve that. Spend lots of money on lighter parts instead of training. The Trek Covey Pro pedals I put on handled well and loved having double-sided SPDs. On Shimano pedals I like having them loose, but on the Trek pedals when I loosened them I found my shoes unclipping very easily. was handy when we were slipping in the mud sections, but whenever I tried to bunny hop over objects on the trails, they would unclip. My standout was definitely the tyres. Not having a single puncture, I didn't even notice any sealant on my bike or coming out of the tyres. I'm not sure if it was down to taking it a bit easy on the rougher terrain, but even when I took big hits, they still did not break. When we were not riding through slippery mud, they had great grip and would have felt nice riding the wider 30s or 32s. Definitely happy with the P0 TLR 4 Seasons. They are the ones. Alright, on the way home. Feeling fresh after having loads of chips. We got some band sending it over there. Let me know in the comments below, did you take part in a day in hell, whether it was in London or another part of the world? What did you think of the route? Would you do it on a road or gravel bike? And what setup would you choose? But that's it for today's episode. If you enjoyed it, please do give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, as it helps a lot and I appreciate it so much. Hope you're all staying safe, staying positive, having fun, and I shall see you in the next one.